As you probably know by now, for the last while I've been testing a pre-production version of the Smooth 4, and I've just recently got the production version that is now available for pre-order. Woohoo! So while this might seem that it's an awfully fast way to get a review out, I've had it for a long time now, so I think I'm ready to give my in-depth thoughts. I took the Smooth 4 away for a weekend. We went to a little convention in Wales, which was super fun. Did lots of drone flying on the beach. And I just wanted to see how a mobile gimbal would fit into my everyday life. So I left my phone on the gimbal and just wandered around the place, and here's the footage that I came up with. Wandering around with the gimbal, if that's something that you're interested in, maybe for a travel video or just for convenience, is made really easy by this really cool clip. So while you're wandering around and you don't want to film anything for a number of minutes, you can leave your camera phone in here and just shut it like that. It's the first gimbal I've ever used that has a clipping to close mechanism, and I find it so useful, particularly for mobile photography and videography. There are a lot of mobile gimbals on the market, as you are probably aware because the internet is bombarded with them. What sets the Smooth 4 apart is this is really geared towards filmmakers and content creators, and anyone could use this and pick this up and use it straight away. Very easy to use, but it does have a number of buttons and also the follow focus / vertigo zoom wheel, which give you a lot more creative opportunities. I had lots of fun with the vertigo effect with the Daleks at the convention. I mean, if you're ever going to use a vertigo effect, it may as well be with Daleks. And it's very easy to do. The technique is you need to zoom in as you are walking away, or zoom out as you're walking in, and that gives you this sort of crazy depth of field, weird perspective. It's all a little bit unnerving, and to my knowledge I don't think that's ever been done on a camera gimbal before. So you could use it in short films, which I'll get to at the end, or for fun transitions, or just for a laugh. It's a good feature to have. It doesn't take up too much space and it's very easy to use. I'm gonna put this down now. I'm pointing at all this stuff and I'm probably just gonna lay B-roll over this anyway. The wheel also doubles as a focus wheel, so if you were doing a short film, for instance, you could pull focus from one subject to the other relatively easily. So the focus wheel will give you more control than your phone will, and it's a much more tactile experience, which is much easier to use when you're out and about filming things. The reason I'm sitting next to the pre-production model is I have the new Smooth 4 on a tripod doing a motion time lapse of me recording this. How very meta. The motion time lapses, as you probably know ad nauseum on this channel by now, are my new favourite thing in the world. And the Smooth 4 can do motion time lapses very easily, built within the software of the app. It can't do long exposure motion time lapses like the Crane Plus or the Crane 2, but you wouldn't necessarily want to be doing those on a phone anyway, so I find the time-lapse settings and the motion time-lapse settings more than enough for a mobile gimbal. There's also some very comprehensive panorama options where you can do a 180 panorama or do a 3:3 ratio panorama, which sometimes when your phone camera is quite zoomed in and you don't have additional clippy lenses, panoramas are a great solution for getting everything in when you need to. So the Smooth 4 build quality. I think it's a wonderfully built but still very light mobile gimbal. All of the buttons and the dials seem very well made. The clippy attachment to keep everything aligned when you're not using it works wonderfully. The focus wheel works very well, and I like it overall. It even comes with a cute little tripod, so you can set it up to balance it, keep it secure like this, or keep it on this for time lapses or whatever you want to do. So everything in the kit is very well thought out and geared to make your experience as easy as possible. So it goes without saying, of course, the footage is very smooth. That's 90% of what you want out of a phone gimbal. And I'm really impressed with how easy it is to get smooth footage. There are a couple of different ways to get motion into your gimbal movements, and that's using the rocker switch on the back. If you press the bottom rocker, it will follow your up and down movements as well as your left and right, and if you use the top rocker, it will make every movement that you do super fast. So if you're following a basketball team or a skateboarder or whatever, something that moves quick and you need to get from here to here without the gimbal meandering in the middle, it's a great way to do that. You could also use that for whip pans, and having the option to have a quick response and a slow response I think is genius. Now there is no joystick like a traditional mobile gimbal, or a traditional gimbal. In fact, I don't think I've ever used another gimbal without a joystick. So the only way to manipulate your up and down movements is with the rocker switch on the back. It's a very tactile experience because you have to physically move the gimbal in the way that you want the camera to go, whereas traditionally you would just move a joystick up or down. And some people might love that, some people might hate that. While I was away, me and my friends had a little bit of downtime and we decided to film a very short film just for some fun, because we're weird like that. And I really enjoyed using a mobile phone, small, tiny setup for this. I mean, you couldn't just sort of ad hoc film a short film with all of my usual kit. You'd have your boom mic, you'd have your gimbal, you'd have your GH5, you might mic a few people up. You know, it would be a big undertaking, whereas this was, I've got my phone, I've got this, let's do it. The one thing I did add was a Rode microphone just to make the audio a little bit better, but I attached that to the side of the Smooth 4 by using a GoPro attachment, and it worked really well. I'm sure there'll probably be an official way to do that, but as it stands, I had to MacGyver a little bit. So the footage was very smooth, and following what was going on was very easy and intuitive, and we managed to box this off very quickly. As you can probably tell, you know, it's not Steven Spielberg, but it was lots of fun. The crane shot at the beginning, I put my Smooth 4 onto the Zhiyun monopod, and it gave me much more height to give sort of a crane in or out of the shot. So here's the film. It's 1 minute long. It was loads of fun to make, and yeah, see you on the other side.
I've got the bag. Where am I taking it? Okay, should be easy enough to find. I'll be in touch. See ya. Take it. Go on. Okay. Remember, I was never here. What? He's still there? He?
So to conclude, it's really, really feature-packed for the price. It's not as small as some gimbals, like comparing it to the Smooth Q for instance, it is quite a bit bigger, but it's still not ridiculous. You know, it's still very easy to manage and easy to use. What the extra sort of size gives you in terms of features, it's well worth the payoff in my opinion. The Smooth 4 comes in two colours, white and black, and it's gorgeous. It's a very, very nice piece of kit. It's very well thought out. So there we have it, the Smooth 4 in a rather long nutshell. I'm a fan, I'm going to be using it a lot going forwards, and if you have any questions about the device, just let me know in the comments and I'll do my best to answer everything.